South Africa, a land of great diversity, home to both wondrous abundance and great lack. A land blessed with richness, yet in many places scarred by severe poverty. The vast rural areas of KwaZulu-Natal and Eastern Cape Province are an example of such paradox. Boasting great beauty and a richness of culture, these regions are also marked by great deprivation. They are home to a generation of children orphaned by disease, famine and poverty, forced to fend for themselves and their siblings. For thousands of families in the area, the head of household is younger than 16. Victims of hunger, malnutrition and rampant disease, many have no access to healthcare or welfare services. Poverty and a lack of infrastructure deny most of them the opportunity for education and a better future. In 1999, a spark of hope was ignited for these dark places when Father Pat Cogan, an Irish Catholic priest, visited the local town of Kokstad and was deeply moved by the plight of its inhabitants.
Particularly, we saw one young girl of 13 years of age, and she was bringing 3 of her family home after the counselling session. And we were told that she would have to walk through the fields for about 6 hours to get home. So that kind of experience, it never leaves you. And we saw it as a spirit calling us to Africa.
Father Cogan, founder of Irish Housing Association and community development organisation Respond, followed the call and together with Respond began working towards a solution for the seemingly hopeless situation he had witnessed firsthand. By 2008, the spark of inspiration had become a practical reality with the founding of Civile.
When we came to Africa, Respond as an organisation isn't registered in Africa. It's a charity, an NGO, which is registered in Ireland. So we needed to have a registered company, and we constructed one here called Civile, and that company acts on our behalf.
Civile aims not only to aid the community at its direct point of need, but also works to provide long-term solutions through a wide range of community upliftment programs, equipping the community with resources and skills to help them become self-sufficient over time. Civile's work revolves around creating beneficial partnerships between communities, non-profit organizations, government, and the private sector.
Civile undertakes 4 key areas of work. The first one is fundraising, both in South Africa as well as overseas. The funds that are raised are then used for capital programs. We identify, plan and build capital projects to support community work in the areas that we operate. We then undertake quite a lot of work on assisting organizations, other organizations, with financial as well as professional help. The third area that we operate in is providing support to organizations, both through providing funds and also expertise into those organizations to build their capacity to be able to do developmental work in the communities. And then the fourth area of activity is actually managing the facilities that we build. Having put the money in, it's very important that those facilities are managed properly and that the programs in the facilities are also managed to the extent that they can do the best work possible.
With the help of the Catholic Diocese of Kokstad and the Greater Kokstad Municipality, Civile designed and built Ithemba Labantu Community Centre.
Ithemba Labantu Centre is all around synergy. It's got to do with finding the right organizations and the right people and the right energy to support that community.
Bringing together 4 strategic partners and the support of over 50 funders, the centre provides the community with around 20 different services which meet many of the people's immediate and longer-term needs.
Here in Shire with the Ithemba Labantu Centre is a primary example of what we want to do. to try and bring everything a part of a community, from life to death, from the preschool at the bottom to the hospice here and the drop-in. So we're covering all aspects of life. The main part of that is training, getting people to move from where they are as unemployed into working for their family and a better existence for themselves and their homes and their children.
The Multi-Purpose Centre provides a base for a community preschool, a church, 4 non-profit community development organizations, as well as the Respond Training Centre. Ithemba Labantu also caters to the physical needs of the community through food gardens and a multi-purpose sports facility. One of the non-profit organizations housed at Ithemba Labantu Centre is the Yondlabantu Foundation. Yondlabantu is a community-based healthcare, welfare, training and support organization operating in the poorly developed and underserviced rural villages of KwaZulu-Natal and the Eastern Cape.
Sivile, as part of Respond, came to us in 2007 when we were at a very critical level where funding was sort of reduced for us. Then we got David Gardner in specifically, who came and spoke to us and the Bishop as well, with regards to the challenges that we were faced at that stage.
Sivile has been providing Yondlabantu with quite a lot of support in developing its organizational structure, its financing capabilities, and also the programs that it runs within the organization. Essentially, Yondlabantu runs the programs and Sivile does the fundraising and the overall developmental work.
Yondlabantu's vision is to restore dignity and hope to sick and marginalized people in situations of desperate need in rural communities. It takes a holistic approach to see to the needs of the whole person. Yondlabantu has a network of over 170 community health workers who assist thousands of sick and vulnerable adults, children and orphans each year. A job creation program also assists over 400 people a year with basic employment and training opportunities. TLC Home Services was founded by Teresa Olivier in 2006 and serves a special and vital purpose in the greater Kokstad community.
In the beginning years, it was just a home-based care organisation. That's TLC's core business, is home-based palliative care for all. We are a hospice, became a hospice 3 years ago, accredited at HPCA. As the years have developed, we did change our program according to the needs of Kokstad, the area of Kokstad. So then we brought in like your OVC programs, orphans and vulnerable children. With that we do teaching. We a training centre for different in-service training, the 30 days home-based care training, TB training we do. And then we moved on to a food distribution program.
In 4 short years, TLC Home Care has tended to over 900 patients and trained more than 30 care workers. The Ithemba Labantu Centre also plays a crucial role for those near the beginning of their lives. Saki Sizwe Preschool was initially founded in 2001 by retired local teacher Nomaphethu Silangwe as a place of safety for children being neglected by working parents.
I went from house to house to find the children because I saw the children were just running about doing nothing when the parents were out. I thought it was wise to have them together and have a place of care for them.
Nomaphethu started with 10 children and no proper school building or financial support. The need was great and the number of children continued to grow. Together with the Kokstad Catholic Church, Sivile was able to provide Nomapetu and her children with a proper preschool facility housed at Itembalabantu Center. Sivile has also been able to provide logistical, financial and training support to the preschool. The Respond Training Center will offer a wide range of basic education and skills development programs. Its aim is to provide members of the community with the tools to enter the formal work environment and to create entrepreneurial opportunities which will go even further towards helping the wider community.
Respond is about education, is about uplifting young people and giving them a chance. And the training that will be provided there will allow young people to learn basic trades so that later on they can go out to the wider area of Kokstad and begin to offer their skills for payment to uplift their families.
Another Sivile project is the Hardenberg Child and Family Wellness Center near Matatiele in the Eastern Cape. An old school building has been renovated and extended to include dormitories that house 40 children, along with 3 classrooms, play areas, kitchen facilities, food gardens and ablutions. In addition, there is a family health center with offices for social workers, psychologists and doctors, and a dispensary. In an area where families are torn apart by the ravages of HIV/AIDS and TB, the center will offer respite programs for vulnerable children and orphans, as well as counseling, health and paralegal services for affected families and caregivers in the surrounding communities. Sivile's work is funded primarily through donations.
Funding is crucial to any charity, and it's the lifeblood for us coming in, because you're dealing with people who are unemployed, who don't really have any other sources of income, and you're trying to give them, upskill them to go back out into the workplace to become better people. So you're not only training people for today, but you're training people for generations to come.
We're a small organisation. It would be stupid for us to try and pretend that we can solve South Africa's problems. We can't do that. But what we can do, we can create a template for change. A template where there can be integrated services, perhaps in the future integrated housing as well, and that those services can actually be made available by government in South Africa.
When one looks at the vast problems that we face of HIV/AIDS, of education, of housing problems, there are sometimes overwhelming odds, and many people ask us, well, how can we make a difference with such a huge problem? But the point is that every little bit counts. Every volunteer day, every rand, every contribution in kind goes to assisting someone, somewhere, to improve their lives.
Visit www.sivile.org today to make your bit count. Sivile, caring for the community.